Hello, everybody out there in TikTok world, Facebook land, YouTube, everywhere. There's going to be a portion of this going live and in charge. We are back doing some reviews, honest comic book reviews for Antarctic Press. And this is Pounds of Power. Books 1 and 2 of this. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know where book 1 ends and book 2 starts. So we're just going to go through the whole 2 book spread because they don't give me a second cover as I go through. And so this is Pounds of Power. It gives me the Faith feel from Valiant Comics. If you know Faith, she is a overweight nurse um, that becomes a superhero. And a lot like this gentleman here, we don't know his name yet, but we will. So Pounds of Power, interesting book all the way around. The artwork in it is very well done. We will hopefully get into who is the writer, artist, and all that because I do not see it right off the bat. Who does the artwork? Who does the writing? All that good stuff. There is no, from what I received, there is no page like in Exciting Comics that we just did a review on just a little bit ago, which will be out on YouTube as well. So I'm not seeing the title page that gives me all the information of who wrote this, who was the art director, who did the logos and all that good stuff. Just like in Exciting Comics, gives you that page up front that tells you who does what. So I do not have any information on the artist, the writer, or anything like that right off the bat. It Whenever I get to the end of the book, it also does not give me to be continued or anything like that as well. So those are my gripes with this entity so far. Now, this could just be um, a a fraction like that where it does occasionally end up like that where they just give you the information to start for a review. But I was hoping there would be a little bit more that would give me some semblance of what it is about, who's written it, and all that good stuff. But there isn't a synopsis page or anything like that. Let me see here. Looking. There we go. But this is Pounds of Power 1 and 2, and I'm gonna open it up real fast just to see if I missed anything in this before we get into the full review. But again, Pounds of Power already looks exciting just off the front page. You've got mice that are floating around, and you got a guy that's got something in his hand. We're not sure what that is just yet. But it starts off fast paced as we go into it. All right, let me see here. I'm gonna flip through these pages real quick just to see if there was something I missed or that something didn't get printed out. It takes a hot minute, folks, and I apologize for that because it is a large file that we are going through. All right, so let's see here. It's almost there. Boom, boom, boom. Come on, come on. You're right there. You're right there. Just open up. I just want to see. But again, the colors were really well done in it. So I'd like to know who the colorist is, who did the letterings, the word balloons, and things like that. So, but I'm gonna double check just to make sure I didn't miss anything when it did print out. But I don't think it did. Yeah, okay, so it just kicks right into the storyline. It does not give me any information of who wrote this thing, who drew it, who did the lettering, all that good stuff. So yeah, it just basically jumps right into it all. I'm going to jump to the very last page to make sure my last page. There's 57 pages to this book. And yeah, so the very last page again does not tell me who did anything. It doesn't tell me that it's continued after that. So we are going to kick right into it and go from there because that's what we've got. All right. So Pounds of Power right here. Antarctic Press, Pounds of Power. Starts off with a problem going on in a lab. It's his microwave. His microwave dinner is going wrong. They rush to the microwave. He didn't remove the foil, so it was causing a problem. As you see, you've got a larger gentleman here. Let me see. Does it give us his name right off the bat? No, the burrito is key, my boy. Look, I like Mexican food, but hey, shouldn't you remove the foil? I don't know. They were going to use my work for evil. I didn't know. Well, in general, I try to steer clear of evil. But this is your destiny, Johnny. So his name is Johnny. Destiny. You're not some kind of loser. You're born to be a hero, is what he tells him. And then all of a sudden, in comes a bunch of guards. The doctor releases a bunch of mice. He's slinging mice, and they take out the doctor. Johnny is left. Come on, Johnny, move. Get the burrito. So he's thinking about food in a time like this, which is quite humorous. And he gets to the burrito. It's hot, hot, hot. He bites into the burrito. And all of a sudden, something magical happens down at the bottom, as you see, after he eats the burrito. Earlier that day, so that was present day. This is earlier the day, in the day. And they're in a lab being introduced to Dave, the new hire. And she says, "This is our resident nerd, Johnny." And they have a little dialogue there. That's none of your business, but suffice to say, it's going to be big. Even Vale wants every moving part greased and oiled. Now, I am well aware that you don't have any problems being greasy and oily, but Dave is here to provide additional support. So she's being very, very sarcastic because, oh, she's so fit and he is not. Don't shame people. Just don't do it. Right there. So now you got Dave and Johnny in the office together, and he sees a item on a shelf. He finds a toy that he's got. Circa original 1942 Mr. Miraculous. Still in its original packaging. No way. That the Mask of Eagle Eye? So you've got all these different fandoms going on. That's why she called him a nerd. Because we're nerds. We like comic books and action figures. I mean, look behind me. Action Figure Central. Back over here. So then we skip into this guy called Evan. It's a double page spread. So this has got to be about the middle of the book, roughly. Could be earlier on in the book, but just judging, it's probably about midway through. Of course, the baby harp seal up top, you know, those type things. Let's see here. Evan is a genius, is what they say right there. Eval, I don't know. That's the name of the company. They're going through the different floors, showing Dave around. Johnny is, and we create everything from condoms to military equipment to Easter candy. So they are a Walmart of the world, right there. So there's many floors to this building, and they are getting ready to go to floor 13. Johnny's very nervous about getting in the elevators. As you see him having a little bit of a panic attack right there. They get up to the 13th floor. There's guards everywhere, inside, outside. They get through the detector. Mr. Askew is the doctor. So they get in there. You're perfect. I'm so, sir? No, Johnny. I mean it. You are perfect. I'm Dr. Askew, but there's no time for pleasantries. We've got to act quickly. So he pulls him in, shows him some things, shows him a big rat, a big mouse up there, puts him in this little gives him a little bite to eat, and then he hands him over to Johnny. Johnny's like, ugh, and he's like, throw him. So he throws him, and the mouse is flying around. So then he gives him a pistol and tells him to shoot the mouse. Well, he does, and everything starts ricocheting off of the mouse. And then the alarm goes off, and we are back to the beginning where we started with the alarms going off. Several hours later, that's when everything exploded around me, and I blacked out. So he's telling the story to Dave what happened. Anyway, it took 5 medics to lift me out of there on a stretcher. Wow, were you hurt? Nah, as he's eating. But one guy threw out his back. Man, you don't even have a scratch. That's scary, Johnny. I don't know what I'd do without my favorite customer. Gulp. Thanks, Lisa. So Lisa has a thing for Johnny. She doesn't care about his size. I mean, you're my best tipper. Aw, thanks. So what's the pie today, Apple? I'll warm you some up for you. And I know you like it a la mode. I'm starving, as he's shoving in food after food after food. So they're chit chatting, they're talking. She brings him some pie. He's eating that pie. And then all of a sudden, again, hell breaks loose. You've got a would be robber coming in to rob the store, to rob the diner. Why you would rob a diner? Yeah, there's lots of money there sometimes, but come on. Well, starts getting all the money from the people. He starts getting a little aggravated at people and pushing them around a bit. Great use of artwork and things like that. Good colors. And he tells Johnny to get on his feet, lard ass. And he hits him in the head and says he calls him a loser. And then Johnny's replaying what the doctor Askew said. He said, "You're not some kind of loser. You were born to be a hero." And Johnny replies, "I'm maybe fat, but I'm not a loser." So he's starting to get a little angry, a little hulkish. "What'd you say, fat boy?" "I'm not a loser. I'm a hero." And he's starting to get angry. He grabs the dude, lifts him up over his head, shocking everybody. And then he uses him like a tether ball, slinging him back and forth, slams him down. Everybody gets their money back. And oh my gosh, Johnny, how did you do that? Hey, Johnny, what do you say we get out of here? Get out of here. And they're taking selfies with the burglar on the ground. They take off, and no, I think it's the burrito from earlier today. Johnny, I really think a burrito would have had a much different effect. I mean, when I ate it, everything just exploded. Yep, that's what I'm talking about. Dave, look up cellular glyco- glyco- glycogen release technology. So that's what they're looking at. Okay, the New England Journal of such and such says that cellular release technology, which is purely theoretical at this point, would allow someone who is enormously fat to utilize their fat as energy. And in doing so, that individual could theoretically accomplish incredible feats. Wait, so you are trying to suggest that you just use your fatness to save us at the diner? Yes! No, no way. That's impossible. This technology doesn't exist. But what if it does? What? That would make you a superhero, Dave. Dr. Askew, last night, our last words were, I was going to save the world. So, I think this could be the end of book one right here. And then we go into book two, Justice Municipal, blah, 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 blah. Justice Municipal Park, May City. Okay, tell me what I'm thinking, huh? Go on, give it a try. You're thinking about superheroes. That's right. Wow, you have mind reading abilities too. That's incredible. Nah, you're just thinking about comic books. Sigh. Can't argue with that. So they're outside. Hey, check this out. I've got the power of invisibility. So they're just having a little fun with it now. And now they're just trying to think of different things that they can do with it. He's smelling pizza. Knock it off. I'm being serious. So, what do you think would be the best superpower to have? The power of stink. Name any battle and stink would win it every time. Like a skunk? No animal can defeat a skunk. Heh heh. The Adventures of Stink Man. Or would he be called Smelly Man? Think about it. What is faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, and can leap over a building? It's a fart. Ha ha ha. His powers became more lethal after eating dairy, right? Yeah, after eating dairy. So he said, well, then check this out. Oh my goodness, you're flying. But why so low? What, can you go any higher? Well, I'm afraid of heights. So he does do a little bit of flying, but he stays close to the ground because he's afraid of heights. You see, when I was a kid, no jungle gym for you, fat ass. You would just fall off, end up on the ground crying like a baby. So he was bullied by his own parents. by his own father as a child because he was overweight. So he's thinking he's got superhuman hearing because they're arguing about picking up the dog poo right there, which is in the foreground. So he's moving around and he's getting gasps of air. He's getting winded. So he runs, runs really fast, and grabs some doggy do bags. So he runs to the store, grabs them, comes back, hands them to the guy. And they said the store clerk said that they won't break easily. The nerve! Hey, buddy, mind your business. Well, get to it. Pick it up. Oh no, I'm not risking this finger again. Wow, that was incredible. Now he's even more winded right there as he sits down. Now, what about X-ray vision? Gross. Knock that off as he's looking at a butt. What? I was trying to see what color her eyes were behind her glasses. Sure you were, buddy. But in the interest of fairness, what color were her eyes? Double D, as he's looking at her boobs. And then this kid's got a Nerf gun and shoots it at Johnny. Well, Johnny redirects the bullet, the Nerf gun bullet, to the bag of poo, and it splatters all over him. So the kid noticed it all. Mom didn't, and they're having fun with this. Now he's getting hungry again. They're talking it over, how he knew that the bullet was coming. He said he just felt it in his gut. Are you okay? Later at the Griddle Diner. Are you okay, Johnny? I'm fine, Lisa. Just hungry. I'll take the meatloaf special, 3 portions. The same, but just one, thanks. Check this out. He's showing that he's losing a ton of weight right now. That's why she's asking if he's okay. So he's losing a ton of weight, and you need a costume, and it's got to be spandex. So they're talking about costumes. Again, great use of the panels, great use of the camaraderie between these two nerds, if you will. And the artwork is fantastic. I wish I knew who was doing the artwork. Um, all that good stuff. Who's doing the writing? Because the writing is really good. Obviously, they're taking the bullying subject and putting it into comic book form as turning Johnny into the superhero who's been bullied most of his life for being big. Yeah, but it's super junk. You saying Superman is hung? Have you seen his bulge? Oh man, I try not to look. Is that called his super bulge? Snort as they're laughing. Well, he is an alien who knows how to impact his anatomy. But either way, Lois doesn't seem to mind as they're laughing. So they're talking about Superman's junk all of a sudden. And here you go, guys. Lisa comes in. So, Johnny, what will you do next with all those powers you have? How'd you know he has powers? Duh, I saw Him foil the robbery? Oh, yeah. I also overheard you discussing a costume. I could make that. So, does everyone have super hearing now? Sorry, Dave. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop. Listening helps me anticipate my customers' needs. Would you really do that for me, Lisa? Of course. I could do it in my fashion design class tonight. I'll make it out of spandex. Great. Spandex will be great. Oops, gotta go. Table 8 needs a refill. So now they got her on board. Lisa's on board. Well, I really need to get my collectibles back. So now, why don't you just go to work and get them? Are you kidding? I know all about the flying rats, and they shot and killed Dr. Askew. I think it's best if I sneak in. Good point. Normal companions do not send in a SWAT team to shoot up their employees. So now they're talking about getting his collectibles back. Now they're talking about sneaking into the lab. Now they're figuring out what they're going to do. So she brings his outfit to him. Here, Johnny, try it on. So he goes behind some bushes, drops his trowel, and puts on his outfit. You look sharp as he comes out in his new outfit. But what does the SM stand for? It better not be for Stinky Man, Smelly Man, or Sadomasochism. It stands for Supper Man, not Super. Hello, that's already taken. I think it's clever. Da 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 da. Here comes Supper Man. I like the ring to that. This is fun. I like this one too. Okay, how should I get into the building? So they're discussing. Now's your chance. Thanks, guys, for believing in me. So he runs super fast, knocks the guards over with his super speed, gets into the building. He goes to get his collectibles, and all of a sudden, his collectibles are gone. He finds a note. It says, "If you want your mask, come to the top floor. E." So minutes later, he goes to the top floor, sees his mask under glass, and then all of a sudden, he gets fired upon. So he's deflecting all the bullets. Bravo team, go! They're slicing and dicing, hitting him all over the place. He's talking about this ends now. He starts using up his power, and then all of a sudden, he is no longer big. He is now skinny, hungry, discharged. And then all of a sudden, a cage falls around him. He can't move the cage. He's a shriveled up husk of himself. Bravo, Johnny. Ah, yes. Clearly, I have something you want, but you have something to offer me as well. I was against your creation, but now I see. But now I can see that you are even more powerful than I imagined. What do you want? He's holding up the vintage 1942 Mr. Miraculous, still in its original package. It's so simple, Johnny. I want to give you a promotion. Imagine what we could do together. While, why, you'll re or revolutionize the entire defense industry. You're a one man army. Of course, I'm not asking you to do this out of the kindness of your heart. You'll be well paid. Think about all the collectibles you could buy. I'll never work for you. Well, technically, you still do, but perhaps you need a little persuasion. as he rips open the original mint. Mr. Miraculous in package. You monster! What have you done? His stomach begins to growl. What's the problem, Johnny? Are you hungry? Well, consider my offer or starve to death. As he walks away and leaving Johnny a shriveled husk of himself. Good story. Good story about bullying and how to overcome that. Great work. I wish again I knew who wrote it. I wish I knew who did the artwork, who wrote it, who did the artwork and the colors and all that good stuff. But maybe one day we will find out. Pound of Powers, books 1 and 2, right here, 57 pages. Um, Again, great stuff. Great stuff. Look forward to that one. Again, it's 2 thumbs up on that one. And again, I don't like every story that comes through. Now, there's certain things and certain aspects that just don't grab my attention. These 2 books did, or 3 books did, because you got Pounds of Power 1 and 2. And then, again, the other book review I just did, which was Paladin in Exciting Comics number 58. Antarctic Press is bringing the heat and keeping things relevant to today. So get out there, get the books, and if you can find any old issues from like Ninja High School, Gold Digger, things of that nature, go do it. Many more titles out there from Antarctic Press that need your love because they're great stories, great artwork. The creative team behind everything between the Dunn brothers, and then of course bringing Brian Denham in and things of that nature. Great cast of characters all the way around. So 2 thumbs up on Pounds of Power. Get out there, get it now, and have fun with it. But as we like to say, as we leave you guys, because that is it, we will catch you on the flip side. Have a good day, everybody.